questions about asking me if I can go into more in-depth look to my overall nutrition when I'm on a more complex hike or a long distance or a through hike, starting from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And they've specifically asked, a lot of you have specifically asked, if I can go into the supplements, vitamins, all of that sort of stuff that I take as well. And I'm quite happy to do that. I do want to openly say that I'm not affiliated nor sponsored by any of these brands, haven't collaborated with anyone. These are just my personal choices at this current time. They do change a little bit based on new research that comes in. But being a long distance hiker, nutrition is very important to me. I'm going to be turning 59 very soon and about to embark on, actually I'm only 2 weeks away from embarking on the Araroa Trail in New Zealand, and in my case I'll be solo backpacking the South Island, so it's going to be around 1400 kilometers. So yes, nutrition is very important for me, because when you're doing something like that you really are an endurance athlete, so it's very important to support your body as best you can. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm a very enthusiastic hiker and long distance backpacker, someone who really enjoys hiking, specifically through alpine terrain, and I spend about 8 months of every year hiking and backpacking. So yes, nutrition is very important to me. So let's jump into this. Welcome to the channel if you're new. So first up, when I'm getting out of my hiking tent in the morning, I make a 1 litre container of black leaf tea with some milk powder and some sugar, and I make that directly up in that. Into that I add in my first supplement. Now this is one I really enjoy, collagen, and finding the right collagen powder that's nice and clean. I've certainly noticed a difference with this product. It's something I've been taking for 2-3 years now. It comes in a non-flavour version and also in a chocolate powder, and I use both. So into my jet boil would go 2 of those scoops, and it just stirs straight in, no problem, dissolves straight away. And I just use the bottom little cup to pour the tea into to drink while this cools down, and then I drink directly from that. So that is the very first part of my nutritional day. Then about an hour and a half into my trail, when I reach a really nice scenic spot, might be in beautiful forests, by a waterfall, by a mountain view, I drink my cold soaked beefed up muesli. Now the ingredients do change a little bit from time to time based on what's available, but they do always consist of rolled oats, chia seeds for slow release energy, a good healthy mix of nuts and dried fruit and seeds. So I always have dried cranberries in there, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, all of that good stuff. That's my basic mix. To that, I add my second supplement, which is a scoop of protein powder. Now, haven't nutted down the brand for the protein powder that I prefer. I've been using this one. I don't like it at all. And I chose it based on its research, but also because it provides 30 grams of protein, but purely just a taste thing. I don't enjoy that because it's too sweet, and taste, of course, is something that's very individual for all of us. And into the porridge, I do enjoy using pink Himalayan salts, because I think for someone who sweats a heap on trail, which is me all over, I find that using, I need the minerals in the rock salt, and this particular one is one I really enjoy. I use quite a lot of it, so let's go in with a lot of it, because I do sweat profusely. And the reason why I started taking this is because of a younger YouTuber, an American guy called Ryan Mitchell. He is one of the young ones that has summited Mount Everest, has just returned from K2. He likes to just put it on his tongue or put it in his water, and he swears by it. And based on all of his training videos for K2, if it's good enough for him, it's definitely good enough for me, and I definitely need the salt. That's something that every hiker needs. Now, the last ingredient in here is about 10 mils of extra virgin olive oil. Don't be confused by what's in this bottle. This bottle is 110 milliliters is what I always use. I can't find my bottle of olive oil at the moment. It's in with all my hiking stuff in my hiking room. This has chai tea extract at the moment, but just for the purposes. 10 mils of olive oil to help get all of those fats in. So that is my breakfast. Now, immediately after I've taken my breakfast, I have just started taking this very exciting new Australian product, Opti-Venture Core, and it's the version 2. I'll explain more about that in a sec, but it's a very exciting new supplement. And whilst I am having my breakfast, I make up my next supplement for the day, my greens juice. It's something that I really enjoy. And now, of course, you can drink plain water all day, every day. And yes, I do. However, because I'm all about the nutrition, if I'm happy to carry a bit of extra weight of getting some more nutrition into me, then I absolutely will. And as I've talked about in previous videos, you might have seen my hiker's nutrition and meal planning video that I've just released just a little while ago. I have a problem in that I'm one of those hikers that doesn't feel all that hungry on trail, actually not at all. So I've found that the best way to get nutrition into me is to include as much liquid nutrition as possible. So into my bottle of water goes 1 scoop of greens powder. Now this is the brand that I am really enjoying. Not so much from the taste of, I must say. It's not the most enjoyable tasting one. There is another one that I like that has more of an apple mix in it. But for me, this one, the list of the ingredients seem to be far superior than any other. So into my 600 ml of water goes 1 scoop of that, 2 scoops of old-fashioned staminade. Once again, I could get rid of that and I could just use the pink salt. At the moment, I'm doing a bit of both because I'm still testing which I find better. But I'm using this one at the moment predominantly because of the lime flavouring, to be honest, because it helps the flavour of this one. Okay. Also, then, my next liquid supplement, starting with a nice bottle of water, into that, and this is for my drinking throughout the day along with bottles of water. Hydrolyte, of course, to ensure that my body is efficiently using the hydration and that I'm not just letting it go out the other end before it's done its job. Some magnesium, definitely, because it helps me manage my spinal based chronic pain, and it helps overall with muscle cramps. And some good old fashioned Barocca. Vitamin B is a thing that I find valuable as well. So let's dive into this. Opti-Core version 2 supplements were developed by long distance hikers, mountain climbers and adventurers Cam Bostock and his best mate Hirsch, and they are the very first of their kind to be developed to support people who do what we all do, very much with the adventurer in mind. And as Cam and Hirsch say, you know, on a lot of their little stories and information online, they wanted to develop a product that they wanted to take, that they found helpful, and it's been a game changer for so many endurance athletes all over the world now. So it's a very exciting Australian product. You'll find all of the information, all of the research associated with this brand new product on their website, so check that out. So, Core has been specifically designed to support, and there's 6 main areas: your energy, your immunity, your inflammation, gut health, sleep, and importantly, recovery. And it also fills a lot of those gaps in the micronutrients that a lot of hikers experience having trouble fitting in, that you'll typically experience on any of your longer hikes, expeditions, or indeed on any adventure travel. So they have a sunrise formula which you take in the morning and a sunset formula that you take in the evening. Both have been specifically designed for those points of the day. But just to be really open about all of this, before I started taking these 3 little tablets, this is all of what I would take every day in the morning. So I'd start with a probiotic, an iron tablet because I'm a woman, vitamin D, a multivitamin, very important on trail, some omega-3s. What else have we got? Magnesium, extremely important for me. Calcium, I'm an older hiker. Vitamin C, which is one that a lot of hikers struggle getting enough of that into them on trail when they're doing long distance hikes. And lastly, some zinc, which I don't necessarily take every day, but I definitely take, especially when I'm feeling a bit weaker or if I feel a virus has started. So instead of all of that, now I take these 3 tablets, and it's going to be very exciting to track my progress on the Araroa trail to see how I'm feeling, because I've been using all of these right up till now. So on all of my long distance hikes, my multi-day hikes, this has been quite a lot of weight, and it adds up to bulk to carry instead of 3 tablets a day. And I package them in the handy little travel pouch which is supplied. So that's my regimen in the morning now. That's the next part of my supplements for my nutritional hiking day. And then during the day I'll continue to drink water, and just plain water after I've had my green juice and this other juice, or the other drink. So after I have reached camp, the very first thing I do is have something to eat and drink. And so my chosen drink, I use a container of water, and into that container of water I would put in some milk powder, and then next comes the next supplement, which would be 1 serving of the protein powder again. And then here's the chocolate flavour in this product. And I really enjoy this one. I find it not sweet. I'm really happy with the flavour profile in that. So that would go in there. It stirs up all very well. It's really lovely to have a chocolate milkshake actually. It's something I really enjoy. And occasionally I'll have one with my lunch as well, because I really enjoy that. And as I said, for me, it's all about working out where can I get some extra liquid nutrition into me during the day. And after I've had this little collection, then I would have something to eat, and then I would follow that up with some more hydration, and then I would follow that up with my evening meal. Here's a new dinner menu item that I've been trialing, and strangely enough for me, this is not at all nutritional. It does have all of the essentials that you'll need as far as the 3 food groups. So it does have the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins, but it's most certainly not what I would call nutritional. The reason why I'm trialing this is it is my lightest and less bulkiest meal for the Richmond Ranges, which will be a 9 to 10 day food carry. Definitely a 10-day food carry for me, absolutely. So I'm trying to find the lightest, but also the less bulkiest
but a meal that has the essentials, the carbohydrates, the fats and the protein. So let's have a look at what I've come up with here. Instead of tomato paste, here we have a tomato soup, roasted tomato soup. And then we have some angel hair pasta, because this cooks as the quickest as possible. Now, I haven't worked out the exact amount of this yet, but tomorrow I'll be leaving on my multi-day hike, my last one, and I'm doing that one apart from training, but particularly to work out the meals, to test the meals for the Richmond Range section. So you can bet I'm going to have an answer about that. I'm actually having this tonight to help guide myself. So there's the carbohydrates. Now, as far as the proteins, now backcountry meals have a wonderful dehydrated mince that all the hikers absolutely love. So it's very hard to get your hands on it in Australia and New Zealand, but I will be definitely trying to do that. That is most definitely my option A, preferred option for protein. However, failing that, I'll be using the good old dehydrated textured vegetable protein. It's not yummy at all, but it has the protein, has some of the fibre. And with that, I will be adding in some dehydrated Parmesan cheese, a good old 10 mils of olive oil, and as I was saying, I will be taking 2 of these bottles for the Richmond range. This is a 110 milliliter bottle, so I'll be taking 2 of those. And then some basil leaves or Italian herb mix, and definitely the rock salt. Now you might be thinking, well, you've got so much salt with the Parmesan cheese, why would you be adding in the rock salt? And you'd be absolutely right, except that I'm wanting to get the minerals from the rock salt in as well. So that will be my dehydrated meal. It's going to pack down really tiny. When you look at the backcountry mince, that the serving size in that is 5. So if I buy 2 packets of those, and you can imagine the bulk of 2 packets of those rather than 9 packets of one of the other freeze-dried meals, along with multiplying the pasta out and all of this, it does come in significantly lighter and massively less bulky in my pack. So there you have it. That's one of my dinner options. I will be trying to come up with other flavours that I can still use the angel hair pasta with, because I imagine that I will be able to stomach this for 6 nights, and then I'll have another 3 nights. So it would be nice to have maybe a cheese sauce or some with the textured protein, some other version. So I'll be doing that as well.
And then when I've eaten that, then I'd have the sunset formula of the Opti-Venture Core version 2. And in this one, it says that it optimizes and enhances sleep and combats inflammation, reduces muscle soreness, promotes deep recovery, and then you're waking up ready to go. So this is this one. And once again, how easy is it just to take 3 little tablets, and along with the other 3 little tablets to help support my very ambitious, very endurance-based long distance hike. So if you're interested in further information about the Opti-Venture product, when I was having a look on their website, there is a 58-page guide written by trail nutritionist Jess Barlow, and there's a lot of really interesting information in there. You know, they've done lots of studies, gone through all the hoops that you have to with making sure that the product is absolutely perfect and FDA approved, of course. So I'm very excited to see how this product replaces so many of the other things that I would be taking, like the magnesium sleep at night. Don't need to do that now because that's in there, and we'll see how everything goes. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some of this nutritional information valuable. I haven't focused so much on the lunchtime meal or the evening meal, but I'm just answering your supplements and vitamins and a little bit more of the detail of some of the other things. So hope you found that interesting, and as always, happy hiking. Bye for now.